Am I back? Okay. I don't know what that was. I'm annoyed. I don't know why the stream keeps having issues. Just past few streams have been terrible for some reason. Sorry about that. I don't know what I can do. I've looked into things and it's not really anything I can do about it. So hopefully I can just stream without issues today. We'll see, I guess. So it occurs to me that there's a lot of seasonal stuff I haven't done yet. This is a good song, man. I forgot about this one. Why is Ariana's Vow in my inventory? Dim must have moved that over. Okay, Dim is not responding, so that's cool. We'll just try to work with what we got. I'm about to do something crazy. Yeah, so no space left. Do something crazy. Alright, well, it doesn't seem like there's, like, a lot of stuff. So we gotta do that. Store page. Not really anything new. New shader. Other shaders as well. You're home in Miami. I'm about to do something crazy. Alright, I'm pretty sure it's Glassway. Let's double check that real quick. Glassway, yes. And let's double check that the weapon is Buzzard. I'm pretty sure it is, but I just want to double check, of course. Yes, it is. So I haven't earned a normal Buzzard yet. So I might do like a lower tier Nightfall. Just to start up. Try to just burn through it real quick. I could probably solo it. And Buzzard is a kinetic, isn't it? Weapons. Sidearms. Buzzard. It is kinetic. Okay. Cool. I don't know if I want to do the Guardian Games thing yet. I think I want to do Glassway. What's Banshee got for sale right now? Let's double check that. What's up, Kruken? How you doing? Ooh, a brass tax. It's an okay roll, nothing crazy. Not a terrible roll for Crown Splitter, all things considered. Lame Ogma. That's a fine Kilgarath, eh? That's alright. Archer's Tempo, Sympathetic Arsenal, Imperial Needle is alright, you know. I feel like that could be good, because you're going to constantly reload the bow anyway. I kind of want to try that out. I mean, I feel like it's just... It's more efficient to just run auto-loading guns, but I guess if you have a gun that you really can't let be auto-loading for whatever reason, but you need it to auto-load, then this is a solution, I guess. Just run this. I'm good, thanks. How about you? I'm doing good too. I have this thing, I kind of mentioned it at the start of the stream. Ooh, it's maybe not the worst roll. Where I just have a lot of trouble starting streams sometimes. Like I got off work several hours ago. I've had a long time to start stream, and I wanted to start stream like the whole time. But like I only just now started. And like, I don't know why. I don't really know why I do that. But it's like every day I do that. It's weird. And so then sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna stream, and then I sit down and I expect myself to start up stream, and then like I do that thing for like so many hours that it becomes like 10 or 11 at night, and I'm just like, oh man, why did I not stream? And then it's like way too late because I got work in the morning and all that stuff. So you know, I'm just sitting here like, wow, what's my deal? Like, what's the problem? It's not like I don't want to play, you know. I want to play. It's not like I don't want to stream. I want to stream it too, you know. So it's weird. I don't know what it is. It's probably an anxiety thing if I had to guess, but just frustrating. Just weird and frustrating. I don't know. It's just something I'm trying to acknowledge at least, and then I don't know, find a way to just deal with. But I think it's probably a small part of a bigger thing about myself, you know? I suppose your question wasn't meant to be so deep. It was just how are you doing? Was it a burnout? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, that went to Postmaster. Is dim working now? I don't think it is. Bungie.net servers are down for maintenance. Oh no. Is that true? Or is dim just glitching out for me? Why do I keep getting 1809 items? I'm max power on my Titan. Max power on all my characters. Wait, I am, right? Wait, what? Did I dismantle my only 1810 mark? Bro, what? So that's why. I never infused it into anything, and then I never got another one to drop, or I just kept dismantling them. Man, that sucks. Oh well, I'll deal with that. Probably the same for me. D2, I launched it, stayed in orbit for an hour or more. Yeah, it might be a similar thing. I don't know. I think it, for me at least, it extends from something I've had for a long time, where anything I do that's like a creative thing that I like doing, that feels very fulfilling to do, like, I'm not like an artist or anything, but like I like music, so I want to make my own music, and you know, and I'm a writer, so like I write my own things here and there, and I have other ambitions outside of streaming, and I just try to sit down and do them and work on them, and I just don't, I just I just don't, and it's stupid. It's really stupid, you know. And I don't like how stupid I am about it all, you know. It feels like I know better, you know? Like in my mind, logically, I'm like, I should just do that. And then in real life, I'm like, oh, well, I don't. Not even I don't wanna. It's like the whole time, it's I wanna do that. I wanna do that. I wanna do that. And I just sit there and I think about how I wanna do that. And then I don't do it the whole time. I don't know. It's just weird, man. I don't understand. I need to see a therapist, man. Good old American healthcare. It's so helpful that I can't seek help ever over anything without losing my entire paycheck for the next year and a half at least. And dim's down. I'm gonna try reloading dim. Maybe it's not fully offline, it's just on my end. I heard it's bad, but is it actually that bad? Well, the care you get is fine. But like, as far as like paying for it, if you don't have insurance, then like you just don't go to the doctor. And I only work part-time, so I don't get insurance as part of my benefits. I would have to pay insurance out of pocket. Which at that point, it's like, why don't I just pay the medical bills out of pocket? Well, okay, it's still more. And people are all weird about it in the government of like, oh no, we can't get rid of health insurance. Like, we can't have free health insurance from the government because like, then like you have to choose the free government health insurance. You can't have a choice. There's no marketplace. And I'm like, okay, cool. But the current marketplace that exists literally costs too much money. I cannot afford it. So like, I would rather just get free healthcare rather than no healthcare. I appreciate that there's a marketplace. Cool. That sounds awesome. But can I just get some healthcare at all? Do I have to pay for it? Can I just live, please? I don't know. It's just weird, man. Does the government not provide any help? It's annoying because we're very bipartisan here in the U.S., right? We got two political parties. So like at all times, one party will want one thing, and just because that party wants the thing, the other party will say that they don't want it, even if it's overall a good thing. And so then it becomes a political issue instead of just like, we need this change. We need a good change. It's like, no, we oppose it because you brought it up. It's like, wow. And I mean, that's just how it is everywhere. But like, it's really bad. It's just really, really bad. And it's so bad. And you know, there's the grass is always greener kind of stuff, you know, where like, I'm sure I could complain about it here and then go somewhere else and it would be bad in a different way. But as far as my understanding goes, when it comes to the healthcare thing, it is just better everywhere else. It's just better everywhere else. The only way to comfortably receive healthcare without stressing out is to have a full-time job or just a job of some kind that provides benefits. And what that means is they provide insurance through your work instead of you having to pay for it for yourself. And then the insurance then pays for all medical expenses, right? But not even all insurance like deals count for like everything. Like sometimes, like there are different categories. There's vision, there's dental, there's health insurance versus life insurance. Life insurance is only if you die. Health insurance is to keep you from dying, and then I'm sure there are even other categories, right? And then there's of course like car insurance, which is more understandable. I understand car insurance. I'm not going to argue with that. And things like boat insurance and other vehicles, motorcycle insurance, whatever, right? Your house, the insurance for your house. I just don't think health insurance makes any sense. It's a really stupid system we got here, and it really like it punishes poor people is all it does. I'm not saying I'm poor, but I'm broke. And there's a difference. There's a genuine difference. It's just, I don't know, it sucks, man. It sucks that I haven't gone to a doctor in like 4 years. And that's not like good, That's like really not good. I've got a lot of things I'd love to talk to a doctor about, but like I just can't. Unless I had a full-time job that was paying for health insurance. And then suddenly I could waltz right in and be like, hey, I got all these problems. And they'd be like, okay, we can help you. Maybe. If your insurance covers it. And that's a whole other ballpark. I don't know. It's crazy, dude. People really like the U.S. and people really want to live in the U.S. But I'll just, I'm just saying, man, it's not all it's cracked up to be. It really isn't. It's a first world country. It's not the best first world country by a long shot. There are a lot of good opportunities for work here, and it just kind of sucks that a lot of things suck about the U.S. And I'll freely talk about every little bit of it, Hope you're doing fine though. I'm doing fine enough, yeah. I do wish I could just, I don't know. To go back on our original subject, just I don't know if it's a burnout kind of thing. I think I think it's an anxiety thing, and I'm sure that it's something that other people deal with that I could like learn about and maybe take like a medication for. But again, it's just like I can't afford that. I can't afford to see a psychiatrist or even a therapist. I just can't. And then if I did, could I afford the medication that they prescribe me? It's just, I don't know, it's sad. So I don't know, I try to think about ways to deal with it. And there just aren't really. I don't know. It's frustrating. But yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised the US is a country at this point. I mean, it's a shame because like I've been learning a lot of things. It's weird because I would now politically, and I don't like to be political on my channel. I would politically describe myself as a centrist, as in just I don't entirely agree with either of the main political parties, really. And I know there's more to being a centrist than just that, but in America, doing that is already like a major thing, right? Because everybody's one or the other, or they don't care. And I care, but like it's hard to care when you realize that both political parties do literally nothing helpful to all of society. And I've become very disillusioned with it all, where it's like it's not really a matter of oh, you know, who's going to win the political debates this time? Is who's going to get presidency this time? This political party, that one, who's going to be the president? Like, none of it really matters because it's just the same old rich white people who are in charge, and they're not going to change anything. They're not going to fix anything. If they do change something, it's to make it better for them, all the rich white people. And you know, I'm a white people. I'm not going to deny that. But like, I ain't rich. You know? Not by a long shot. I used to work at country clubs. So I would meet these rich people. And in hindsight, I really hated that I worked there. Because I don't sympathize with them anymore. I like at all. Sometimes I would be so like caught up in like I really want to do a good job for them. You know, they're paying so much for these country clubs. I really want to do a good job and like all that. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I'm sure some of them did. You know, I'm sure there are some people out there who are rich who worked really hard to be rich. And I don't want to discredit them so I'm not gonna make any blanket statements about that kind of stuff. But like, there's just a lot of that in the world, you know. God, how I wish I could listen to politics and not fall asleep. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's just like, I think the most tiring thing about it is how much it feels like you're bashing your head into a brick wall. Like, even if all of the current like generation, like I'm, for perspective, I just recently turned 25 like a week or two ago. If everyone around my age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, you know, in our generation, right? Even if we all agree on one thing, it doesn't matter. And so like we can't make any kind of difference really. And I know that's a pessimistic thing to say, but it really feels that way sometimes. So I try not to talk about politics because it's just depressing. It's just depressing to talk about. And it's divisive because you get a lot of people who are divisive about it. You get a lot of bad actors. And I don't know, the whole thing is just so depressing. I don't mean to put you to sleep, Nilo. But I do want to just mention this. I identify as somebody, you know, who's a centrist, right? So in between the two political parties somewhere. And that's just because I grew up, like in a very right-wing climate. So very, like conservative Christian family. And I don't want to talk religion here either. I want to intentionally leave my current religious beliefs vague, so that people don't come to their own conclusions about me. I think that's a big deal. I've seen it firsthand on both sides. It's just not worth getting into. So I've said this before. I'll say it again. I won't say what I am right now if I believe in anything religious at all. I don't think it's important to my channel, other than for me to be a, you know, an oblique, I guess word is the word, an oblique character on the internet, you know, with my own individual thoughts and opinions. But I think it is important to mention that at least my upbringing was very conservative, very religious Christian. Because it's a part of my history. It's a big part of my entire childhood, all of it. I was involved in my church youth groups a lot as a kid. So, you know, in a lot of ways, it did make me who I am. And again, I won't say what my thoughts are these days in the religious aspect, but I think it did affect the way I view things as a person now. So I think a lot of what makes me think of myself as a centrist is really just me growing out of that mindset more and more. Whatever you may perceive that mindset to be, political or like politically conservative or just hardcore religious, you know, whatever you want to say that is. I think I'm just kind of moving away from that, right? Speaking like a lawyer, yeah, you know, you got to be careful with what you say on the internet. People gonna take it out of context and assume things about you. But I don't know. It's tough, man. I grew up as a religious person, and I argued religious arguments on the internet. And so I know what people think about religious people. I know what non-religious people think of religious people. And likewise, I know what religious people think of non-religious people. So it's, I've seen the dichotomy. I have witnessed it firsthand. I understand. Okay, I'm well aware of all of it. So I don't think it's important to mention anything, because anything I say about that, if I take any kind of side at all, even the littlest bit, people will tear you to shreds over it. It's crazy, man. For like no reason. Like they don't know who you are or what you do, or the life you've lived, and then they'll latch onto one little aspect about your life and like hate you for it. And it's like, can you calm down? Can you get out of my house? Like, what did I do, man? Like that is just a single part of who I am as a person, and you're like carrying that. And see, the issue is, here's another thing about myself, right? I don't believe in God, but I love religions, and I still pray because that's how I was grown. I mean, that's fair. A lot of people come to that conclusion. And again, regardless of what I believe now, I don't judge other people for what they believe. I don't pressure anybody to feel or think a certain way, unless I think that at its core it is morally wrong. Then I suppose I might argue with something. Like, I mean, just very oblique. I use that word a second time, and I'm still not too sure I'm using it in the right context. Very specific, very obvious things like you shouldn't murder people. It's like, yeah, okay, blanket statement, you shouldn't murder people. Yeah. And things like that, where it's like, okay, well, don't needlessly hate people, don't hurt people, don't bother people, and don't be a bad person. All these things that are like normal society, like, let's just not cause harm to other people in some way and just live our own lives and just like work with each other, right? It's not like hippie, like, oh, we have to love each other. Like, you don't have to love everybody. You can if you want. You can certainly try. That doesn't mean they'll love you back. But I'm not calling for everybody to love each other. Just, like, talk to each other. Just like, communicate, or at least acknowledge each other, and I think that's more than what we do now, and it's almost more than what we even need, but I don't know, it's very strange. But I don't know, there's a lot that goes into it that I don't know if it's even my place to talk about here as some guy who just like plays Destiny every day. Love you, numb, get loved on. How dare you? I don't believe in love. I'm kidding. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's super weird because, like, okay, so here's something, right? So growing up, I was in a very religious family, right? And there are a lot of opinions in conservative Christian households that I think even if you want to be a Christian, which again, I'm not saying what I am, right? Even if you want to be a Christian, those ideals that have been held for a long time are just incorrect. Sorry for bringing up the topic, by the way. You're good. Honestly, I've been kind of thinking about all this stuff lately, so it's good I vent about it here and there. But if you guys want to move on, I'm okay to move on from the topic. Just let me know. I like talking. I like talking about things, especially things outside of Destiny, because it's like it's just stuff I do. I play this game every day, and I love talking about Destiny. But I'd like to talk about other things sometimes. I'm interested. Okay. Please continue. Okay. All right. So, okay. So, like, there in conservative American Christianity, right? There are a lot of things that are just kind of considered commonplace, normal things that, um, even if you just take a step back and just look at other countries, how they're doing that religion, even if you just take a look at other religions and how they handle that subject, you start realizing like, okay, this is stupid, right? And it may not be the best example, but at least for me, something that that has bothered me about the way American and I guess maybe just Western Christianity is as a whole is the animosity towards like the LGBT community, because I grew up with that, and it was weird growing up with that, and then getting older and meeting people in that community and learning the reality of it, and it's easy to say that any religion is a cult. You can call anything a cult if you really want. You'd be incorrect. But there are aspects of cults that are there even in like major religions that are less niche and less controversial, And I think it's such a shame that there's this weird, needless animosity that exists in the Christian community towards like gay people, and it's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Um, and like I don't know, I've looked into it, and it's hard to find because it's so often talked about in like a negative way, but then like but it's only in a negative way from one side or the other of the community. It's either, okay, I'm going to, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to say gay people instead of like the LGBT community, because it's just less to say. And it's honestly, it's like the main topic for the most part. Most people don't even, in the Christian community, most people don't even go further than specify, people don't really go specifying the whole group. They say one particular. Anyway, so it's either on the side, to put it simply, it's either on the side of gay people who hate Christians or Christian people who hate gays. And like, that's it. So like you hear these two communities, and if you're trying to find the reality that exists between them, what each side says about the other, you're gonna have a really hard time because it's so varying and so different, and it's just really weird trying to find out what the hell's going on, right? So then, like, as someone who grew up, like, I grew up in a very Christian home, and we weren't really strict. I didn't grow up in a Catholic home, to clarify. I've heard the horror stories. It's just, like when things like that would come up, it was just like assumed, like, oh yeah, they're just like they're bad people or whatever. Like, I don't. It's just so weird. And looking back at it now, it's just like, why at all would you think that? That doesn't make any sense. If I'm gonna burn in hell for sucking a wiener, I'm gonna suck the wiener like I'd go to hell for it. Man, truer words have never been spoken. I don't know. So like, okay, I think it's interesting too because the culture has really changed a lot in America, at least, and probably just in the Western world as a whole, and by proxy, the entirety of the world, right? So like, I know gay culture has been a bit more of a thing in certain parts of the U.S. and then in certain European countries, especially. And a few, not a lot, but a few Asian countries as well. And then pretty much everywhere else, it's like this is a no go kind of thing, Maybe South America too, certain places. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I can't say I'm especially familiar. But in recent years, it's become a lot more vast because I think it's become a lot more vast in America. Not that there are more gay people, because that's like a weird conspiracy thing to start saying, but that it's more accepting. And I think part of that came with like the legal marriage, gay marriage registration and stuff. I think a lot of that came with that, but there were a lot of other things that were just cropping up here and there. And it was strange because when that legislation was dropped, I was still in high school, and I was still very anti-gay. You know that whole meme of the, and then I quickly became homophobic. That was just me, but like instead of quickly, just all the time. But look, okay, to be fair, not to like toot my own horn or anything, I never bullied anybody for being gay, and I'm happy because that I don't think I could ever live that down. I don't think I could ever forgive myself for something like that. Because I did bully people when I was a kid. I was a terrible kid. I made fun of people all the time and bothered my friends in awful ways. And I never physically hurt anybody, luckily. Not to my knowledge, at least. I can't think of any instance where I did. But I was a mean kid. I was not nice. I used my words in very hurtful ways. And I think had there been more opportunities, I might have hurt somebody who was gay, you know? And I'm glad I never did. But not just because, like, oh, now I'd get blown up for it or something, but, like, I don't think I would really be happy with myself. Because I already hate myself for all the, like, horrible things I did to people who were straight, you know? Like, what the hell is wrong with me? But, like, I don't know. I try to not give myself a break so that I remember what I did wrong, but you also shouldn't beat yourself up too much because then you never get over it. You never move on in life. So it's a weird like balancing act that I'm trying to do. But I do beat myself up about it a lot, probably more than I should. But I never made fun of any like gay kids growing up, and but it was still this weird when I was a kid, gay was an insult. It like wasn't even a thing in my mind, you know? You know what I mean? Like you would say gay, like, oh, that's gay, right? And the weird thing is, right? Although I agreed with that sentiment as a kid, I never said it myself. I didn't even like saying the word gay. I almost viewed it like a swear word. Like I couldn't say it or something, which is really funny in hindsight, actually. I almost saw it as like a swear word. Like I can't say that. And so like my friends would say it, but they'd say it in the same way that they would say like a swear word. And so like looking at it from that context is it as this, Christian child, I can't say bad words. Why would I say bad words? I don't want to get in trouble for saying any bad words. And so then I'd not say gay, not because I think if I cussed as a kid, I would have called kids gay. So it's like it's hard to say like hard to be proud of myself for, well, I never called anybody gay in a negative way. Like I'm not gonna, because I probably would have if I was the the kind to cuss. But I also didn't cuss, and I still don't for the most part. I make some exceptions here and there, but I know it's a weird thing. I was homophobic till I became gay myself, and now people call me a she here and there. Hey, fair enough. Yeah, I think a lot of it for me personally, a lot of when I was a kid. I mean, a lot of it came from the rhetoric I was taught, in the religious community, and it wasn't like a preacher would go on stage and explicitly say like we are called by God to hate gay people. It's like that's never how it was. But it was pretty much as close as that, as close as you can get to outright just saying that gay people are bad, right? I remember there was a particular series that our church did on on tough topics. They called it something. I can't remember what they called it. They had like a title for the series, and it had the word taboo in it. And it was just about the things that you're not supposed to talk about in church. And one of the topics was homosexuality, and this was before gay marriage was legalized in the U.S. Just a few years before. And so they were talking about it, and they said, like, hey, so, you know, we don't... And it's weird, because, like, on the one side, I remember positively thinking about the way they approached it. Like, wow, okay, so they didn't call for hate against those people, but, you know, they did say that what they do is wrong. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, it made logical sense in my head, right? But it's not really that much better, right? You're still saying that basically that gay people are bad, right? And that's not really a helpful thing to do. And it's weird because, like, I had to just kind of do a lot of soul searching about it, a lot of thinking about it for myself instead of trying to learn what other people think I should think. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, or again, like, I'm not trying to, like, make myself sound better. This is just what I did, all right? This is just the life I lived, right? I met some gay people in high school, right? Just one or two. There's one lesbian chick who I didn't really know, but all I knew is that she would make out with another lesbian chick in high school. And I found it annoying, and I justified it by saying that, oh, I'm not annoyed that they're making out. I'm annoyed that they're making out in, you know, because they're lesbians. I'm annoyed because they're blocking the hallway, or they're doing it in public, and that's annoying. And I'd be annoyed at any couple that did that. And I think to an extent I do feel that way, but I think I was using that, like, argument as a crutch, you know, to still be homophobic, basically. Because there were other couples that would make out in the hallways, right? But like straight couples, I mean. But, like, I wasn't nearly as annoyed by them doing it, right? And to be fair, I think to an extent, I think they were also trying to be like, hey, look at us. Because, I mean, in high school, everybody's doing that, so I don't blame them. But I think there was an element of that, because there weren't really a lot of couples that would make out in the hallway, and it wasn't as honestly obnoxious as the way they did it. I mean, they would be in, like, right there in the hallway, and I don't think there were very many other straight couples that would do that at all. So I think they were trying to, like, show themselves, or, you know, prove, like, hey, it's okay. You know, whatever their motivation was, it was pretty brazen. It was out there. They weren't hiding it or anything. Ugh, I hate these slowed down / plus reverb songs, you know? I hate it when they do that to a perfectly good song. Honestly, it's probably just the human part of the religion, because I don't think there's any religion out there that teaches hate. Sorry if my wording is weird. English is not my first language. No, you're good. Yeah, you're German, right? I think you were talking to Lou the other day. Not to derail the conversation, but... You're not German? Then, where are you from, then? Ooh, okay. You guys see that? That huge stutter on the screen for a second there? What the hell was that? Indonesia? Then who am I thinking of? Do you just know German, or am I thinking of somebody else? Oh, no. But your English was totally fine. You're good, man. No? Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking of somebody else. Who am I thinking of? Ah, man. They must have had a similar username to you then, because I don't know why. I don't know any German. Okay. Well, I feel bad now. Am I finally becoming too big of a streamer to know every viewer individually? Have I become out of touch with my community already? in before Cardome announces graduation from Twitch as a VTuber, suffering from success. I don't know. So it's weird because like I don't know. I started doing some thinking about it for myself, and I just kind of came to the conclusion of like I have read like testimonies and just people talking about growing up gay and realizing they were gay, and like I remember. So here's a story about me, right? And this is the only way I can understand something is if I can relate to it. So it's um you know, I try my best to put myself in other people's shoes, and I really love hearing other people's stories and learning about other people in their lives. But sometimes I have to put myself like in their perspective, and I have to relate it back to myself to understand their thoughts or their opinion or their experience. I just have to do that. I think that's a pretty normal human thing, but I have to do that like all the time. So I in this context, I thought about my past. I thought, okay, I remember being very, very young, like 5 years old, and liking girls, like really, really young. And it wasn't any, of course, like sexual thing. Like I was 5, I didn't know anything, right? But it was like a weird, like romance thing. Like maybe I was interpreting expectations from my family, like, oh, I have a mom and a dad, so someday, since I'm a boy, I should have a wife so that I can be a dad. Maybe there's something about that. I don't know what it is, but the point is, at a very young age, I thought like that girls were cool in a different way than I thought boys were cool. And I'm like, okay, I, would love to have a girlfriend slash wife slash whatever, in the future. And that's what I thought as a kid, as a very, very young kid, right? And I've read and heard and spoken to people who are gay and have described literally that exact thing, but about a same-sex thing, right? That's just their thinking of it. And I'm like, okay, so with very minimal outside sources as a kid, or maybe just the same outside sources, they're coming to a similar conclusion, just in a different way, right? It's the same thing. It's not different. It's not special. It's the same thing. And so it's I just, from that perspective, like, okay, I understand how you came about that conclusion, because like I was like that too, right? What am I saying? Let me hold on. Let me rewind. I think I was just like, for a second there, I was just like blah blah blah, like words were just coming out and they weren't really a full coherent sentence. I just kind of extrapolated that information of, anecdotally speaking, if I did the same thing that they did, but the only difference was that I was talking about girls as a guy and that they were talking about guys as a guy, then that's the only difference. Everything else is exactly the same. So like, why should I think of it that much more different? It doesn't make any sense. If it's like an ingrained thing in them, right? In the same way that it's an ingrained thing in me, it doesn't make any sense. Still talking about it like I never left. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know. It's not like it was a big revelation or I had to really ponder. It's just like, I don't know. It made more sense to think of it that way in my mind. And then taking that information and going, well, logically, that's what I know. That's what makes sense to me. And then taking that information and going, okay, how does this apply to my life and my religious beliefs? And, it made me think of it a lot more differently than how I viewed homosexuality growing up, because it, growing up, I think part of it was also just there's this innate fear that a lot of straight guys have that I think still exists in a lot of straight guys. There's this fear of being labeled as something negative, such that women will not want you, right? And this could be a number of things. It could be you're weak. That's a common one. You're weak. Women don't like weak men. So you have to prove to the women that you're strong. Women want this and that, but like it all boils down to like really simple, stupidly simple things, right? Monkey brain style things. If I show off to the woman that I can lift this heavy box, she will swoon. And it's like the dumbest garbage. It doesn't make any sense. But like, I think a lot of guys have insecurities about that. A lot of guys do. Not all. Maybe not all. I can't speak for every man who's ever lived, But I know for a fact that a lot of guys have had that kind of stuff. And so I think being labeled as gay, if you're not gay, is a very scary thing to a lot of young guys. Now, I don't fear it personally anymore. But when I was a young guy, I did. I feared it a lot. And I think that's part of what perpetuated the culture, and also what perpetuated that thinking in my mind is like, okay, even if I don't personally hate these gay people, they're not hurting anybody, they're not causing any harm, even on that, I just don't want to be labeled as gay. So if I show any kind of support or sympathy towards them, or if I do anything similar to them, then suddenly I could be labeled as gay. Ooh, scary boogeyman. I can't risk that. And so I think that was also a big part of it for me, at least. I think I was worried a lot that I would appear gay to some people, and then vicariously somehow all the women that I would ever be interested in would somehow perceive me as gay, even though that doesn't make any damn sense, because they could literally just ask and I could be like, oh no, I'm not gay, and then problem solved. It's weird. Instead, we create this weird like culture of like, oh, you can't ask about it, you just have to know. And so then, well, how do you know that someone's straight, that someone's gay? Well, gay people act like this and straight people act like that. It's like, okay, is that always true? Well, no. Okay, then why are we pretending it's true? Because like we don't want to get it mixed up. Like, I don't know, it's weird, man. It's really weird when you start deconstructing certain things. It doesn't make any damn sense. And like, this is just the way it's been for a long time. And only recently is it becoming a lot more lenient. I think there's still a lot of concern for a lot of guys out there. Like, a lot of guys want to support their gay friends, but they still have that thing in the back of their minds of like, well, what about like, me? Like, what if I get perceived in a negative light? If like, not in a negative light, but like, if I get perceived as being gay because I support gay people, right? Like, that is still, I think, a big concern in a lot of young guys' lives. And it's tough because, like, that doesn't help gay people in any way. But it also doesn't help straight people, because then the straight people are feeling insecure about their straightness. They feel like they have to prove that they're straight, instead of just being straight and not having to worry about it at all, right? And so it's this weird thing that exists, where then it's like you get all these little microcosms of like, this is how you should behave if you want to be perceived as this or that, and that's just a general society bad statement, I know, but I don't know. I digress. I'm kind of rambling for sure about just a lot of things. It's just like, I don't know, I think about this stuff a lot. It goes through my mind. We all have lived our own lives, right? Up until this point. we've lived our lives for however many years per person. And I've lived mine for 25. And, you know, it's not a lot, but like, it's just my life. And I think about all the things that have happened in my life a lot. And maybe that's my anxiety that makes me think about it so damn much. But I think about it, and I don't talk about it. And I don't know, sometimes I just need to talk about it, I guess. I think that's just part of it. I don't know. I guess the important takeaway is that I used to think differently. I used to think very differently than how I do now. And I find myself doing things in my mind that are old things I did, you know, every once in a while. And I'll go like, I shouldn't do that. You know, I shouldn't think that way. I shouldn't think like that. And it's just like dumb stuff, you know? Not really anything about like gay people or anything, but like I'll still think about stuff in contexts in which I used to think about them, and then question why I'm still thinking that way. And the answer is just like, because I've always thought that way. You know, I was brought up to think of it that way. And I can't help that. You know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way I've been for a long time now. I can't blame myself for that. But I can blame myself for not wanting to change, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. I guess the main takeaway is just that I may have grown up in a different context, and I may have been a different way, but right now, after everything, I have come to the conclusion that I support everybody. I support gay people. I support any oppressed group, really. And I think it's scummy that we, you know, again, we live in a society, you know, whatever. But I think it's really scummy that we have a culture built to hate on certain people. And, like, that's just the way we live. And, like, for some reason, it's not a problem to some people. You know, some people are okay with that. Some people want to keep things that way. It's just weird to me, you know? But, I don't know. I don't know. I get worried sometimes, you know. I've mentioned before, I was, you know, I'm an ignorant person. I grew up very ignorant. Well, I don't know if I grew up very ignorant. I think I grew up very ignorant from some things. I was less ignorant than other kids, because I spent some time outside of the country. Anytime you live in one country, like no matter what country you live in, if you live there your whole life, that's fine, right? But if you don't at least learn about other countries and how they live, it can really be bad for you. It can really not do much for you. So I'm not saying you have to travel to understand how people are truly. But it can really help a lot. And so I grew up out of the country, out of the U.S. My parents, I talk about how I grew up in a religious household, right? My parents were missionaries, of all things. And when I was growing up, so I spent a little bit of time in Tanzania, and not much, not a lot of time, but you know, it was when I was very young. It was during some of my developing years, right? And so I started off with a bit of a head start on trying to understand other people and other cultures. And unfortunately, I think I regressed in the US. Yeah, I think I took some steps backward. You know, I had a good head start, and then I became ignorant, and I don't know if it was because I lived in the US or just because I lived in a certain culture within the US, but, you know, I was not very respectful of certain people and things. I'm just glad I was never racist. I guess my background could have been a lot worse, man. Oh man. course, I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of nasty stuff that people would say when I was a kid. It's weird, man. Hey, man, what's with the angry eyes? Are you okay? Are you mad at me? What did I do? All I said was that I was glad I didn't grow up racist. I do live in white America. I very well could have grown up racist, and I'm very lucky to have not. I don't say that as a joke either. Like, I just mean that. Like, I I think a lot of behavior people have is taught, you know, and I think there's just a lot of racism in the world, not just in the U.S., but in the world. A lot of ignorance in the U.S. I don't know. In some ways, people will say like, "Oh yeah, like America is like the most racist country," but I don't know if that's really true. Sometimes it definitely feels true, but like, I don't know. I hear some things about other countries where I'm like, "Oh, that's really that's really not good. They should not be doing that." But then it's also like, okay, well, am I just being racist towards them for assuming that I understand the context of the thing that they're thinking? And then I look into it, and sometimes that's what's happening. I'm just assuming things, or people are giving me false information to make that country look bad. But like, then I hear from like Crooked, for example, Asians can be extra racist. I've heard that. I've heard that, and it's funny because like, maybe it's not funny, but it's fascinating, I suppose, in a weird way. In America, if you come here and you are Asian, you are just Asian. We might ask you if we are a cultured person, or we are a polite person, or we're a curious person. We might ask you, what kind of Asian are you? Where are you from? Maybe we won't say what kind of Asian are you, but we'll say, where are you from? And what we mean is, what kind of Asian are you? And by we, I mean white people. White people will ask you. Other races will ask you. I'm sure black people will ask you, and other, like, Hispanic people will ask you. People will ask you, like, where are you from? But when you get right down to it, in America, Asian is Asian. Because in America, there are a lot of people who are just, like, anything. You could be a mix of a million things. Right? And so it's weird. It's almost, it loops around to being a different kind of racist. We don't hate you. This is gonna sound bad. We don't hate you because you're Korean. We hate you because you're Asian. And Asia is the same in the small America brain. All of Asia is the same. Doesn't matter where it's from, And in some ways, I feel like that's very freeing. And in other ways, I feel like that's very terrifying, The timing is amazing. Starts a new topic, and then I get hit with a Taco Bell ad. Huge. Huge Taco Bell ad. Oh, man. I don't know. We're talking about very controversial things. Honestly, I don't know if I really want to play Destiny right now. I was trying to get Dim to work, and if Dim's not going to work, I don't know if I want to bother doing anything right now. But I'm down to just run around the tower and chit-chat for a little while. I've been enjoying this, actually. I don't know. It's weird. I've heard, as far as as far as the Asian countries go, there's a lot of racism towards different, Asian countries, and it's weird to think about that as a white American, right? I don't think of it that way, because that's not how I was raised, right? You should get into Warframe. Been better than playing D2 these days. I don't know, man. The robots just look so ugly to me. I don't think I ever will get into that game. I just don't like how they look. The GAPI will be down until further notice from Bungo. Damn, dude. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I remember watching before Trevor Noah. You know, the late late show talk show host. What am I trying to say? The talk show host, Trevor Noah from South Africa. He had a great comedy special. It was like a documentary and a comedy special all on one, and I watched it on Netflix years ago before he was a talk show host. Um, and I thought it was really interesting because he talked about racism in South Africa. And my mom, you know, since we lived in Africa, and she was a missionary there for years, my mom talked about racism in Africa, how there were different guys from certain tribes who wouldn't want to date certain women from other tribes, and because they had a different skin tone in that tribe or whatever, right? And you know, to us white Americans, they're just black people, and I don't mean that in any bad way. That's just genuinely how we would look at it. We're just like, well, you're both African black people, so how is that different? But the reality is that it is, in their eyes, it is different, and so it's weird. Now, in reality, is anybody really that different? No, we're all just like weirdos. Every single one of us, man. We're all just a bunch of weirdos. These weird fleshy brains in our skulls that we pilot around and live what we think is the most unique life ever, and then we find out when we die that, oh wait, no, my life is literally the exact same life that someone else has lived like 2 towns over from me, and that no, there's no originality anywhere, and I won't be remembered in history books. All those pessimistic things that can also be very freeing once you realize them sometimes. Um, we're all just people, man. And I don't mean that in any hippie way. I just mean it. It's just the reality we live in. Logically, realistically, however you want to view it, man. If you want to view it in the hippie way, go for it. But like, we're all just people. Like, who cares? But like, in the context of white America, you know, that was the perspective of like, well, wait, you're not a different kind of Asian. You're not a different kind of black. You're just Asian or just black or whatever, right? Now, I think that's a bit less of a thing these days. I think a lot more people are inclined to ask you where you're from if you're Asian or African or anything, and they'll try to be fascinated. But I think part of it stems from also not really having a very good geography knowledge from school. American schooling is not always the best. We have some of the best colleges in the world, and yet like the worst elementary, middle school, and high schools. We don't teach you anything. But I mean, there's also that national bias that every country has of like, you will learn a million things about your own country and then nothing about every other country. And then if you won some wars against a country, or actually, even if you lost some wars against a country, if you ever fought a war against a country, you'll have a different view against it, or about it, versus if you were just allies with them the whole time. Like, we don't learn a lot of bad stuff about, I don't know, what's a country America hasn't fought? Let's see, I'm sure there's at least one. Yeah, maybe not. But see, we wouldn't have learned that. See, that's the thing, is we would never would have learned that. We hate British people because of the Revolutionary War, right? But and we hate ourselves because of the Civil War. and we hate Germany needlessly, because of World War II. Weird thing is, we don't hate Italy. We don't. I mean, we hate France, but everybody hates France, so that's different. Even other Europeans hate France. I'm kidding. It's funny though. We don't hate Japan. Maybe some of the World War II vets hate Japan. I don't know, the Warframe looking bad, good or bad is up to you. Yeah. Personally, I don't like the look of Warframes. I don't know, it's funny. Lou, who is German, he makes fun of the French relentlessly. And I, as an American, I feel like he goes too far. Sometimes I'm like, geez, dude, like, calm down. Like, I don't think the French are that bad. And truth be told, I think I've only met a handful of French people, and it's always been a pleasant experience. But to be fair, they're French people in America, so maybe French people in your other European countries act very different. I have no idea, personally. There are certainly stereotypes of everybody, right? They're the classic American stereotypes, but so I try not to dwell on it too much. I don't know, it's just weird. It's all just so weird, man. The way people treat each other for like no reason. It's funny trying to come up with a list of countries America hasn't fought. Maybe like Belgium or something. Unless Belgium was at one point owned by, like, conquered by a nation that we were fighting in one of the world wars. Then you could maybe argue. Or maybe like, see, like, America has meddled with so many other countries. Even if it wasn't a direct war, we've harassed other countries, that like different like African countries, to put like certain people in power, like through the CIA. They'd like go and assassinate the democratically elected person and then put some sort of terrible dictator in charge. And then, big surprise, there's like uproar and rebellion in the country, and then of course we go and supply American military budget to them so that they can go fight these harmless civilians that are just trying to have a normal democracy that we pretend to preach. And then, like, anytime there's a mention of oil in any country, we immediately send the troops in, make up an entire fiasco. They have nuclear weapons, we have to go fight them. We'll also establish a few 100,000 million billion oil rigs along the way, but like, that's not part of it. That's not important. We're here to fight the terrorists. We're the terrorists. That's the saddest reality of it all, man. Just goofy. Imagine going to another country and destroying them with explosives, right? That makes you a terrorist. And that's what we, as America, what we do all the time. Just to other countries. Just like all the time. For no reason. We are, like, America is like the biggest terrorist country in the entire world right now. It's like, has been for a long time, and we really don't want anybody upstaging us. Really, really, really don't want it. Anyway, that's my political segment. That's my anti-war segment. I'll leave it be. I won't say anything else. Because then people are gonna be like, "Oh, you hate people who serve in the military." It's like, no, that's not what I said. I hate the people who send the people in the military to on dumb. FBI, open up! Exactly. Exactly. I've known a lot of people in the military, and it's hard to like. It's hard to show them respect, because it's not their choice what country we go and harass next. They don't get to choose. It's not up to them. It's up to the idiots in charge, you know? Those complete bozos who think they know how to run a country and don't. And then they'd say, oh, like, you know any better. Like, okay, yeah. I know step one, don't kill everyone in every other country. Yeah, maybe try that for once. Like, you don't have to be a genius to know that that's maybe something you shouldn't do. It's crazy, man. Also, this bow is great. You should pick it up. Let me just explain why this bow is great real quick. Total tangent. It's got Archer's Tempo, draw time. Everything else here is just kind of like whatever, who cares. But then it's got Sympathetic Arsenal. Real nice. Because you get all this like faster draw time from all this stuff. And then like... oh wait, you can even drop it with this? It does drop your accuracy, but you can drop it with that? This is great. Go buy it from Banshee. Sympathetic Arsenal is great. So you can like shoot your gun, completely empty the magazine, and then get one kill with the bow, and you're gonna automatically like reload the bow. You're gonna like redraw it, re-knock it, all that stuff. And you're just gonna reload all your guns for free. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to run auto-loading holster or anything. No mods on your boots, no perk on your guns. You just run it. You just get one kill. Maybe not good for like everything, but that could come in handy for sure. And I don't know how many guns, I don't know how many bows have Sympathetic on it. So it's a good roll. I'd recommend it. Anyway. What controversial thing have we covered? I think we've covered everything. Religion, homosexuality, and politics, and war. And the American government. I think we've covered everything. All of the worst things you shouldn't talk about on a Twitch live stream. All of the things that alienate your viewers. I think we did every single one. Is there anything we're missing? I guess there's abortion, but I don't know if I want to touch that. I have no authority over anything like that, so I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, we should not joke about that kind of thing. I don't know. Oops, not that one. This one. Might do some GMs. Well, I think I'll do like a normal version of the strike, like a lower difficulty, because I want to get a normal roll on Buzzard before I get into it. I like this song. This is a nice one. I don't know. Anything else on anybody's mind? What's been on my mind lately? Gonna be moving soon. In like a month or so, maybe 2, maybe 1. My brother and I are moving out of our apartment. We're gonna be moving into a new apartment with our sister, our younger sister. She's gonna be graduating high school, maybe. She's struggling, but she's trying. But we don't know if she's gonna graduate. I don't know if she knows if she's gonna graduate. Similar to me and my brother, who I rent with, she seems to struggle with school a lot. So I can't say I'm too surprised. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree and all that. But yeah, she's struggling a bit. I hope she graduates for her own sake. I think she wants to. But I don't know if she has it in her, you know? Not everybody does. And I won't think any less of her if she doesn't get it, you know? But I wish her the world, you know? And but she's graduating, and in some capacity we're going to be moving in with her, basically, into a new apartment. Or more accurately, she's gonna be moving in with us into a new apartment. So I'm excited to have her move in, but I'm also worried about her, you know? You think that's too much? Should I be worried about her this much? I'm really worried about her. I worry about her a lot. And I don't really worry about a lot of other people, you know? I worry about myself a lot. That's for sure. I don't worry about a lot of other people, but I worry about her. Yeah, I hope she's doing alright. She's not very honest with me. I wish she was more honest. That's all I want, really. I just kind of wish she'd talk to me about stuff and not, like, lie, you know? I hope that's something she grows out of, or maybe I don't know, I'm assuming she's lying to me, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say? Oh, that's a nice looking sniper. Yeah, that's real nice. I hope they bring that one back. I like that. There's a particular gun I'm looking for, and I don't seem to see it, which is kind of sucky. So, yeah, that sucks. I could do my funnel web though. Funnel web's good. Let's go for it. I need to get something to infuse into it. This is where I would check what my tags are in Destiny Item Manager to try to find something to infuse. Let's see. Still shows a few of them. There's a town where it's carved into the earth, and the world is moving. La la da da da. From inward. Well, I was born there, right around this spot. The only thing we notice, da 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 da, whether you like the song or not. You can find me in town on any street, wandering towards the sound of your voice. Oh, there it is. You can find me on the street of any town, looking for you, singing to myself. So if you're lonely, just a face among the crowd, well, the only thing you notice, la 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 la, you know I come around. Well, you can find me in town on any street, wandering towards the sound of your voice. You can find me on the street of any town, wandering for you. Do you need a friend? 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 La da da da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, like the sun. I think I'm going to use my funnel web. I hope I don't regret this. Instead of my title, I'm going to use my funnel web. At first I couldn't find my title, so I was just going to use it instead. But then I was like, well, I found it, but maybe I do want to use my funnel web. So we'll go for it. Oh no, it's Solar Surge. And here I've been getting Void stuff ready. I don't know why I was doing that. Oh, I was doing it because of the ammo thing. Works from Beyond. As well as Volatile Flow. hate Dune Titan. Oh, Dune Marchers? Yeah, it gets kind of annoying fighting that all the time. Seems to be coming back more. Not that it really went away, but it seemed like there was other stuff to run on Titan for a bit, and then suddenly Dune Marchers came back.
I love it.
Says the Nightfall weapon is common in both of these, so I might as well do the lower difficulty. Let's see. Should be good to go. Okay, I'm going to save this as a loadout. Don't know what to do, babe.
I just needed you to know. I love you.
Thank you, Yelena. I appreciate it. Love you too. Never know what to do, babe. I never know what to do, babe. That's not nothing new, babe. Yeah, I'm getting no damage bonuses here, but I don't care. I'm just gonna go in. Babe, too bad, too bad.
We're here, stranger.
We're not strangers anymore, little light. You can call me Elsie. Or Elizabeth. Whatever works.
Okay, Elizabeth it is. But I prefer Ghost.
I don't know.
Despite our best efforts,
But yeah, I'm gonna be moving in a little while. Still about a month away.
vital link to the Vex.
I want to get some
Time, perhaps. For now,
I've got a lot of like stretch goals for money, but like I gotta stabilize with my money, you know?
Take care of it.
Know what I mean? Got an idea. Okay, sure. Yeah, I've been liking this new job I've got, but man, it does not mean I have like a lot of money I can spend. Ooh, okay. This is gonna be a lot more trouble than I thought it would be. I can already tell. I'm already regretting running this loadout versus something else. Oh, a 50-minute respawn. Ay, ay, ay. 15-second respawn, I should say. Yeah, I'm not really finding much use in the void. Let me run stasis. Or the solar, I mean. Let me run stasis. This one. But we're not going to run those weapons. We're going to run that guy. And that'll be it. That's the only change. That'll be better. This is probably not worth it, though. I could just find a group for it. Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about getting some new headphones because my audio seems to bleed through the headphones and into the mic. I haven't known about this issue until when Lightfall dropped. I did the whole campaign with Heather and Lou, and they told me later. They didn't tell me at any point during it. They told me later that it sounded like my mic was playing to them twice, and then they realized it was
Okay. Elizabeth it is.
my own audio bleeding through into their mic, or something. It sounded like
What's our plan?
they were echoing. I think is what it was. They could hear their own voices through my mic.
Thanks to Eris, destroying it loses us a vital element to Vex.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
For another
And I'm like,
time.
damn, dude,
For now,
I didn't know that.
focus on stopping any further
And so
encounters.
ever since then, I've noticed I've been getting other issues
Take care of it.
with the mic being with my my audio being like that. I forgot to do the thing. That's my own fault, really. Hope that's an okay spot for it. Ah, damn. Wow, this does not have as good range as I thought it did. Yeah, so I've been thinking about getting some like in-ear headphones. I've never been a fan of those in comparison. Like I got wireless earbuds, like some Bluetooth ones, just for like my phone, right? And that's fine, but like I'm not a huge fan of using earbuds these days for listening to stuff. I like over-ear a lot better. But apparently it bleeds through too much, at least the brands I've got, and I'd have to pay a lot more to get a to get something that doesn't bleed through so damn much. Yeah, so there's that, and then a more important thing that is a bit more long-term is I also really need to get a car, like a new one. I guess I don't really need one, but it would be incredibly helpful for a lot of things. I mentioned my sister's moving in with us. She doesn't have a car because she's just a teenager, you know. And we're not rich, you know. So we're trying to figure out a situation that would work for her, and the best option right now would be, and this was kind of the original plan a long time ago before I suddenly got a lot more broke than I was expected to be. I don't know. I was originally supposed to just use the car I have right now temporarily, and then save up for my own, and then because it was my brother's old car, and then I was going to give the car to her once I got my own car, but I have not really had a stable income for a while, and it's just kind of every single time I thought I had one, it would go, like, something would go wrong, right? And I would suddenly not have a stable income anymore. It's pretty frustrating. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. So yeah, things are looking like they're
Guardian
going back
down.
to that old plan of the I'm literally solo, my guy. There's no way. No, I gotta reload. You bastard. Okay, we're good. We're good. Probably a better way to kill that guy, but it worked, so I don't care.
Here we are again, cleaning up another of Clovis Gray's messes.
I'm sure wherever he
So yeah, now I gotta look into saving up for a car, which I'm not really excited about, but
the darkness
I need a
told
new
him
car.
to build the portal. It's his fault that Vex invaded.
Um,
His fault
I'm
so
lucky
many
that I have
times
this
died.
one, and
I did
I need
everything
to
I
kind
could
of
to help
repay
him.
that
It still wasn't enough.
to the people who
There's no
provided
reason
that car to me.
helping you. Any amount is
Because it used to be my brother's car, but my dad is paying for the insurance because it was supposed to be my sister's, and eventually, you know, right? But then, of course, like, nothing really started working out for a while. You know, things just suck sometimes, you know? Holy hell. Land a shot, please. Grab that special ammo. Okay, just like literally missing on a completely still target. Oh, that guy's already frozen. I'm dumb. Okay, now he hides. There we go. Bro, come on. Cut that out. Quit hiding behind a wall for literally no reason. Give me that heavy. Nice. Okay, got a surprisingly good amount of heavy ammo. And I was able to save my grenades till this portion. That'll help out. Alright. Oh, it bounced. Sometimes it sticks to the wall and sometimes it bounces, and I'm not sure what the difference is in what causes it. I love that it's either missing or just shooting a different target. That okay, it's just missing somehow. They are struggling today, man. They cannot seem to float. Oh, hello. Oh boy. Should have known better. Oy. Ow. Nice. Very nice of him to line up perfectly right after his dead buddy in the same spot. No, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Okay, I got it. I would have had to go back for that ammo and use it. Could have been really bad. Got a lot of heavy. Got all my special filled up. Got one grenade and a rift, so I should be alright. I want to use primary on this guy. I don't want to die to him, but I want to just kill him with primary. So I don't waste my grenade, don't waste my special or my heavy. There we go.
We've reached the portal.
You know what to do.
What the hell is this spot? Jeez. Why is he going over near big guy? Get out of here, guy. Get out of here, guy. No! I knew I should have damaged that guy fully. I know. I think it would have moved to the next phase. No, wait. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. Okay, so I know now. Alright, hold on. We gotta be smart about it. Hold on. Okay, let's not die right after all of that. Wasting so much. They're doing way more damage than they did before. What the hell, dude? Spamming so many more grenades. Okay, I need to just kill that guy outright, so I don't have to deal with him. It's just goofy. They keep going further and further back, so I have to chase them. It's really annoying.
We've reached the portal.
You know what to do.
I'm stuck. Okay, there you go. Okay, hold on. What happened to big guy? It's a Minotaur. I didn't kill him, did I? Am I brain dead? Did I just kill him and then forget where he went? Okay, he's gone. No, there's another champion up. I don't know where though. Think. Okay. Here we go. There we go. This is really dumb damage. Okay, that was a little closer than it should have been. There it is. That's perfect. That's exactly how many bullets I wanted to spend of Arbalist. So that works. Oh, wyverns. Look at my super though. I didn't know what it was, so I just wanted to use my melee on it to make sure it froze. Let's just play this safe. Pleasure, I have some for pain. It's just a normal guy. We can kill him real quick. There we go. Now this guy. Okay, so sometimes it doesn't work. Let's just finish her real quick. Get that out of the way. It's day. Okay, he's done. What am I getting here? Just want. Oh, that's bad. That's where those guys are coming from. Freeze. That's bad. Oh man. Let me just get this out of the way. There we go. Let's just get a little bit of backup damage going, maybe. Nothing much, but it's something. Okay, let's not risk that. I'd like to regen my health though. That'd be cool. Can that happen? Oh, that's Wyvern. What the hell? I thought I killed them both. No, dude. I thought I killed them both. All right, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this again. Not doing this again. I totally had it. I'm not doing this again. Because it's not worth it, dude. I'm just going to run through the lowest quality one a million times. Screw it. At least it's match made, so I don't have to do everything solo. Such bull, dude. I totally had it. I thought I killed that wyvern, dude. Oh well. After that first death, I was like, man, I don't know if this is worth it. And then, so when that second death happened and I was so far along, I'm like, no, not bothering again. It's just not worth. Such a shame. It's literally like not even a GM, right? I just gotta cross my fingers and hope I get buzzard soon. So I can just get it, dismantle it, and never run a normal version of the strike again. Or a normal, like lower difficulty raid. Lower difficulty nightfall. Jeez, I can't think of the word, man. Nightfall.
So, what's our plan?
Despite our best efforts, the Vex gate within remains active thanks to Aramis. Destroying it loses us a vital link to the Vex. A story for another time, perhaps. For now, we need to focus on stopping any further incursions from the portal.
Understood. We'll take care of it.
Hey.
we are again, cleaning up another of Clovis Gray's messes.
I'm sure wherever he is, he's laughing at us. He's the reason all this is here in the first place. The darkness told him to build the portal. It's his fault the Vex invaded. His fault so many people died. I did everything I could to help. It still wasn't enough.
There's no use in quantifying the help you give. Any amount is enough. You've done far more than most.
And it's only just begun, little light.
Can I push him? I wish I could. That'd have been funny. Okay, well, goodbye, grenade. Wait, it's hitting them. Oh, that's funny. That's not what I meant to do, but it's fine. It's less fine though. That guy's gonna light me up and kill me in a second here.
You know what to do.
Where's the other guy? What the hell? Okay. is. I guess he was far behind, or maybe he just joined or something. I thought he lost sight of me for a second. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please freeze the wyvern. Thank you. Oh, nice dodge. You jerk. That guy didn't stand a chance, dude. Okay, well that was stupid. Why did teammates die? Excuse me? How did they both die? The worst time. The one time I go in, dude. The one damn time. Are you kidding me? You guys, please. There's two of you. I go in solo to kill a champ with my super because I think you guys are going to end it too early. And then you two both die at the same time that that I'm going in? Oh, I should have just backed out, man. I should have just walked away from the thing. But the champ was like 1 health, man. It was so low. And like one of the detonations didn't work. All of them worked except for one of the detonations. That's like it. Okay, now that guy's AFK, so that's huge. There's no way we all threw at the exact same time, dude. That's insane. That's crazy, dude. This isn't even a GM, man. I'm just trying to get this done fast. Because I'm probably not even going to get the stupid buzzard first try. Ay, ay, ay. Potato Tuesday, not to be confused with Potato Wednesday through Monday. Of course, it's a very different day. Okay, well now that I have 0 ammo, it's gonna be great. Oh, alright, cool. Ay, ay, ay. We were on such a good pace to beat this quickly, and then I could just move on, and if I didn't get buzzard, I could just give it another run. No big deal. Just go again, right? But no, we had to wipe at the boss. At the final health segment of the boss, teammates had to both die, leave me alone, mid-super. I should have just backed up, man. Ugh. So goofy. It's crazy that everybody threw at the exact same time. I don't know that I would make this your stand, but sure. Okay, well the boss is gone at least for a bit. with my last 2 Arbalest shots. I curse thee. The wyverns just try to squeeze past him, man. Classic darkness envelops you in the lowest tier quality, or lowest tier difficulty. Nightfall, gotta love it. We were speedrunning the beginning, and now we're at darkness envelops you. Gotta love it. So much fun. I love randoms. They never mess up ever. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, well. There we go. Alright, big guy time. That's it, look at me. Screw you. Oh, good, we got one. Oh, now I don't have to touch it ever again. Now I could just do GMs and get the one I actually want. Ay, ay, ay. What a nightmare. I would rather do this as a GM, because then I'm not doing it with randoms, I'm doing it with people who know that it's a GM, and that you actually have to, like, turn your brain on a little bit. It's actually not a terrible roll. That being said, I'm not going to be rude. This guy's got decent fashion. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I'm gonna go to bed. I hardly streamed at all today. I hardly did anything, but it's time. I gotta go. I hate to do that, but honestly, it's fine. It's fine. We could hear this song for the outro, but I don't think we will. Let's hear Inside Out by Spoon. Inside Out by Spoon. This is the outro song for the night. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go to bed. That was a stupid nightfall. Whatever, I'm done. Bye. This is Inside Out by Spoon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.